For thousands of years, people would use simple sticks and would make different constructions in the garden. I'm not different, and today I am building something in the front of the house. Curb appeal. Not sure how it's going to look, but I think it will add that old-fashioned rustic charm to the front of my property. Since there are already two constructions made out of sticks, I made those round loops to give protection to some of my plants in the front and to add a little short, like a border, a short fence to the front near the steps would be an excellent addition. Why am I doing it? Well, after making so many different projects in the back, I see how reliable wattle fencing is and how surprisingly strong it is. For example, this back one, you can see how old it is, but still it has that beautiful charm. Being so imperfectly old, it still adds a lot of character to the garden. It's probably more than around 5 years old and it's still standing. So this one is a new one, last year added, right? You know it all. By the way, here's the video how I made it, and it stood through the winter, no problem. Although I just made sure I supported it from the back with sticks, I took them off. As you can see, it's my storage area, well-conceived storage area. So now I'm moving to the front. And because this is going to be a shorter border, I'm going to invest into heavier sticks, which will go vertically into the soil, since we have so many mammals, small animals going through that fence. They will be going through that fence on a regular basis. So I don't want that fence to last only a year. Preferably several years. So I'm going to do heavier sticks, do a very tight weave, and it looks so wonderful. I'm not going to do it in straight line. I'm going to make the line curving, and because these sticks are fresh, they bend in whichever direction I want, so I would be able to manipulate them and make a nice curving pattern to my fence. Let's see how that turns out. So this is the front of my house. This area I love. I have this very quirky piece support here, my raised beds, but there is this area which is troubled. Let's go and see. And I think that my wattle fence will be able to solve all the problems there. So come and see here. I want to repeat the same building medium to make it kind of more uniform, right? Usually the good tradition is not to mix too many stones, bricks, wood all together, because it makes the look a little bit too busy. So in the front I have a strong wood presence and I want to continue to go with it. So look at this troubled area. So originally here the thought was the beautiful roses would be growing under the windows. Well, it's not happening because we have huge maple trees right here and they are consistently giving shade. So these roses, you can see they're not doing very well, so I'm going to take them out today. And what I did originally, I installed this brick border here, which goes into straight line, which is doing a good service. Right now the grass is not cut here and it's just a mess here. Whatever, I will clean it all up. My wonderful smooth leaf hydrangea is breaching out too far here, so the grass is dying off. So instead of fighting it forever, I'm going to make wattle fence, which will go just behind the bricks all the way and will curve around my hydrangea. That's a lot of fencing, a lot of wood. I don't think my wood will be enough. Well, we will see. And hydrangea is not going to fall all the way to the ground. Wattle will support it. And because bricks, I will move bricks away to the new location right here. It will be easy to mow, and my mower is not going to destroy the wattle fence. You know, it will keep my mower away. The grass will not grow there. What do you think? I think it's going to work. Let's see. The only thing is we can run into problems that I don't have enough of sticks. Definitely not enough of sticks. I probably will just do the foundation outline and then I have to hunt for sticks again. This time my husband and my daughter brought those sticks. They managed to acquire them. I wish I would have access to the forest, but I don't. So we have to do whatever we can. And by the way, if you want to know which sticks I'm using, I have no idea. Whatever I can get my hands on, that's what I'm using, as long as it's long and flexible and not crooked. These are seasoned old sticks, which I took from my golden stash there under my holly tree, and they are tough because they're already dry, so they're not going to bend. The ones I'm using, so these are going to go vertical right into the ground, and I want my fence to be pretty tall, and then so much more into the ground. So probably the amount of sticks, the length of the sticks would be probably something like this to anchor them well into the ground. So these are dry, but the ones I'm using to go horizontally into the weaving pattern, they're fresh, and you have to keep them, work with them while they're fresh, and they're going to stay fresh maybe for a week or two. If you can't work with them right away, put them into the water and let them sit there in the shade. This way it will prolong their flexibility, because once they are dry, they're going to snap and you wouldn't be able to create any shapes with them. And another good suggestion, after making so many wattle fences, the tighter these vertical sticks, the sturdier the fence is. So I'm aiming for 1 foot, and I probably, well, I have to calculate how many vertical sticks I need, but I need quite a lot. So I'm going to cut it, and we'll see how it goes. My short hedge needs to have at least 20 vertical sticks, and I'm going to place them a foot apart. I love projects that don't have to be perfect. The uneven lines and twists are actually what make a wattle fence feel so charming and handmade. This area of the garden is rarely walked on, so I'm going to install the new brick line following the grass line. And these 2 hydrangeas, they are incredible varieties, are going to mature and gain green mass before blooming, so I'm hoping they will close the unsightly gap between them and gracefully rest on the new fence. There is no special preparation for these bricks, since nobody walks on them. And I look at my previous projects, which I did in the garden. Bricks are just restfully placed on top of their compacted soil, and looks like they're doing the job just right. So the trench is being created, soil compacted, bricks installed, and they're going to do a double roll here. Bricks will visually define my new wattle border, and I will keep grass mower comfortably away from the fence. Now it is time to put the soil back into the crevices between the bricks. Since our soil level gently slopes here from the house towards the road, I want the top of the fence to be straight even with the line of the house. I'm starting the weaving process at the lowest level of soil here. This way, the top of the fence will follow my house's bottom line, which is very visible there. Those two lines have to be parallel. After looking at my pile of freshly acquired sticks, I realized that I do have more than I thought. These 3 batches might do the job, since my fence is not as high. There is something deeply comforting about a wattle fence because it is never perfect. The woven branches bend in different directions, some stakes lean slightly with time, and no 2 sections ever look exactly alike. Unlike factory-made panels with sharp lines and identical boards, a wattle fence carries the marks of the hands that built it. Every curve and uneven weave gives it character, making the garden feel softer, older, and more alive. This type of fence reminds us that nature itself is not symmetrical. Gardens filled with flowers, vegetables, herbs, and birds rarely grow in perfect order, and a woven fence fits naturally into that rhythm. It blends into the landscape instead of fighting against it, and over time the wood silvers with age. Maybe moss will settle into the cracks and crevices between the bricks, and climbing plants weave themselves through the branches, making the fence feel like it belongs to the earth. It is also surprisingly practical. It can be made from natural materials gathered locally, often from pruned branches that would otherwise go to waste. It creates gentle boundaries without making a garden feel closed in, and it adds warmth that modern fencing often lacks. Even when weathered or slightly sagging, it still feels welcoming rather than worn out. Perhaps that's why I'm drawn to it. The wattle fence, my wattle fence, doesn't try to look flawless. Instead, it celebrates patience and the quiet beauty of natural materials. In the world filled with polished surfaces and manufactured perfection, its imperfections feel honest. And that honesty is what makes it good. And that's why I like it. When I give my plants grief, during this installation, my poor hydrangea lost quite a few of limbs. So what I like to do, I like to water my plants after that, maybe lightly fertilize it. So maybe what I will do for this hydrangea, for it to kind of quickly build up its canopy and close this unsightly gap, is to feed it with fish emulsion, a light one, because these two hydrangeas, they did receive the spring fertilization, so I don't want to overdo it. And here we are, the wattle fence. I love how soft it looks. At the same time, it frames my house so well. And if it becomes old, imperfect, and it will still look good. So that's the beauty of it. Here these white edges, what I'm going to do, I'm going to paint them with some sort of a stain to make sure that they don't, they're not so visible here. Otherwise, all the sticks are used, and there was enough for this project. You see how long it is? I could have added a little bit more to the top here. Maybe one day when I acquire more sticks, I will do that. But otherwise, this thing is done. And what I like, that this edge is hiding into my U here, you see, so you really don't see it here. And then on another side, I have also the canopy, green canopy, hiding the edge. Maybe I should lower this one a little bit. Right, here you go. So as if my wattle fence disappears. And the function of this fence is not only decorative, visual, to add this calm feeling of my garden, right? This is going to serve the hard-working thing of stopping from everything spilling over, because I'm using here the mulch. So this area doesn't have grass, this area has grass, and because my level of soil is slowly grading down, right, sloping down towards the sidewalk, at some point we were even considering to put some sort of low wall here and level the soil. Forget about that. So all this spillage is constantly happening, and my grass suffers here. It's difficult to mow, so this is going to work as the stoppage of all that. That's going to be behind the fence. And then also, when area here gets populated by leaves, because leaves are constantly falling down from our maple tree, I'm going to keep it as is, the woodland area, because I like that feel, and plants are very happy, Here I constantly have to clean that area because it does look unsightly, but otherwise my fence will block all that view. Hopefully my hydrangeas will close the gap. They do look miserable right now. Well, we are going to have nice, beautiful rain coming in, so everything will be refreshed, will perk up, because we didn't have rain for 5 or 6 days already, and we have this heat wave, so I can see plants are struggling. All right, I will be showing you the progression of growth here in the front, so please do subscribe. And one more thing about roses there. I don't think they're worth saving because they're old and gnarly. So I have to think what I want to do with that space. Not sure yet. As you can see, we have gas meter there, so it's slightly unsightly. I want to block it. Maybe for now I will put some decorative pots there with plants, or maybe another hydrangea. I have to think about it, and we'll come up with some nice plan. My dear gardeners, I will see you in our next video. As always, happy gardening!